Welcome to YOGATX. My name is Savannah, a yoga teacher and yoga therapist, and today's video will be about mobilizing your upper back and neck. So you'll see a little bit of stretching in it, and you'll also see some stabilizing in it for your shoulder girdle so that all of the elements of the spine above the shoulder have a chance to release because they can depend on the strength of someone holding it all together below. So let's go ahead and start out on our hands and knees to begin with. We'll take our palms roughly about shoulders width apart, knees roughly about hips width apart. Go ahead and untuck your toes here and imagine the back of your pelvis is almost like a shelf or a kitchen table and you are carrying an imaginary plate full of food on there and you don't want to spill the food. So as you keep your pelvis stable, lift your heart forward, take a breath in. As you breathe out, focus on rounding through the upper back and drawing the chin in without overly rounding the low back. So still keeping some stability there. Inhale, pull the chest forward. Take your gaze forward, reaching through the crown of the head without crunching the back of the neck. Exhaling, front of the ribs, hug up into the spine. The hands press into the floor nice and steadily. Maybe the shins press down as well. We'll take 2 more rounds breathing in. Chest pulls forward. The gaze drifts forward. Exhale, ribs come in, the floor gets pressed away. This time we'll take the hips back towards the heels. Reach the hands forward a bit, drop the forehead towards the floor. Closing the eyes here for the next 3 breaths, feeling the weight of the head get a little heavier into the mat. Relaxing the abdomen on the inhale so that the muscles responsible for inflating the breath in the torso are more around the lower rib cage and the lower back. Could you feel the lower back expanding with the inhale? The waist increasing from side to side, and on the exhalation, the belly shrinks and the ribs soften. With your next breath in, we'll come back to that hands and knees position. Walk your hands underneath your shoulders. We'll shift some weight into the right hand and bring the left hand behind our head. So instead of behind our neck, we'll take it behind the widest part of our skull. Instead of pulling the head down, we'll actively press the head up into the hands. Open the left elbow out to the side. Ground down through the right hand and start to breathe in as you open your chest to the left. Let your head relax here. The only effort in the neck is pressing back into the hand. Pause here for 2 more inhales, 2 more exhales. I even like to sway a bit. You feel that connection of the tissue from your shoulder to the side body to the back. And on a breath out, begin to round the spine, bringing your left elbow towards your right elbow. They do not need to touch. Moving 1 breath at a time. Inhale, turn the rib cage to the left, reach up through the left elbow. Exhale, round through the spine, left elbow to right elbow. 3 more rounds, inhaling. Press the head back into the hands as you exhale, elbow to elbow. Let that inhale open up the left side of your body. Exhale, release. Last time, point your left elbow up towards the sky. This time, straighten your left arm up towards the ceiling. Keep the weight shifting forward. On a breath out, sweep your left hand behind the lower back, turning the palm towards the wall behind you. Drop the right ear towards the right shoulder. Keep this open twist through the spine, the left shoulder hugging up and back. Give your chin some gentle nods towards the center of the chest and out towards the edge of the collarbone. If you want to open up the space around the jaw on the side of the neck, drop the weight of the head and start to open and close the jaw itself. Great, we'll bring the left hand down. Breathe in as you stretch the arms forward. This time, sink the ribs down towards the mat, dropping the elbows down, walking the knees back. Feeling that opening along the sides of the along the sides of the shoulders and the outer arms as you drop the forehead down towards the mat. Stay grounded through the tops of the feet, the tops of the shins, And exploring some gentle rolling of the forehead from right to left. Reminding yourself to keep the abdomen soft so that it can receive the breath. And we'll slowly draw ourselves back up. Step your right foot forward as you bring your hands back a little further. We'll keep the right hand planted underneath the right shoulder on the inside of the right foot. This time breathing in, left arm reaches up. As you exhale, left arm comes over your left ear. Reach through the fingertips, drop the weight of the head. You'll notice the lower body will work a little bit more for balance. Press down through the right heel, down through the left shin. And with your next breath out, lower the left hand underneath your left shoulder. Tuck your back toes. Turn all 10 toes to the left side of the mat. We'll take the bend now into the left knee and straighten the right leg. Tent your fingers up. Drop the weight of the head. Keep shifting the weight back. Reaching through the fingertips, sending the breath to the sides of the ribs. We're opening up all of the tissue that gets really tight and inhibits our breath from dropping down and expanding side to side. That's when the breath starts to overuse our neck muscles and our upper back muscles. And that can be oftentimes a cause of tension in that area. Once you get some time working on the breath mechanics, we'll shift back through center and now walk your hands to the back of the mat. Drop the right knee down, step your left foot back. Take your right hand behind your head. Press your head up into your hand. With your next breath in, turn the rib cage to the right. Point your right elbow up towards the ceiling. Spend a full breath or two here so you can shift the weight where you need it. And on your next breath out, round through the spine. Bring the right elbow towards the left elbow. They do not need to touch. Inhale, press your head up to your hand. Twist the rib cage to the right. Reach up through the elbow. Exhale, round. Gaze down, relax the head. Twice more. Inhale to open twist. Exhale, round elbow to elbow. Starting the breath in a moment before you get to that big twist so that your breath is still aware of the movements of the body and almost guiding the movement of the body as it draws in and expands around. And then release your right hand down. Step your left foot forward. Plant your left hand underneath your left shoulder. Breathe in, right arm reaches up. You can use the back of the left arm to press the inner left thigh away. Find your grounding points, top of the right foot, left heel. Once you get that right arm reaching up, drop the weight of the head, and we'll add in that sweeping of the right arm behind the low back. Once you get the right shoulder snuggled towards the spine, focus even more on how you might be able to move the chin towards the center of the chest, out towards the edge of the collarbone, opening and closing the jaw a few times if that helps. And then releasing the right hand down towards the mat underneath the right shoulder. Come up onto your fingertips, tuck your back toes, and turn your toes now to the right side of the mat. We'll bend into the right knee as the left leg straightens, opening up the side body from the right hip to the right shoulder. Continue to shift the weight back into the heels as you convince the neck that it's a good idea to soften and relax down towards the floor. You'll find that the head likes to stay lifted, resisting gravity quite a bit, likes to be bossy and overtake most of our other muscles' jobs. So we're just trying to convince it, hey, you can take a second off. Other things are working. 2 more breaths in, 2 more breaths out. And then we'll shift the hips through center. Walk yourself in towards the center of your hips with your hands beneath, and we'll take a wide-legged fold. Let your toes point in just a bit and drop the weight of your head so you can traction your neck as you take the gaze behind you. If you want a little bit more weight, maybe the neck is really not listening to this idea of just drop and let go, you can clasp the hands behind the very base of your skull And just let the weight of your hands draw the head down. Focus on the breath again, drawing the inhale up through the nostrils and down towards the abdomen, although while we're inverted, the abdomen's actually higher than the nose. And then releasing the hands down beneath the hips again. Walk your hands towards the top of the mat. Lower your left knee down and we'll take a closed twist, chest turning towards the right thigh as you reach the right arm up. Drop the weight of the head again. Picture your right hand reaching for a doorknob. Grab that imaginary doorknob and open the door to the right. As you take the right hand and spiral it to the right, you'll feel the shoulder blade secure itself on the back of the rib cage. The pinkies might twist forward towards the top of the mat. Great, and then releasing your right hand down. Step your right foot back. Keep your right shin flat. Left foot will step towards the back of the mat. Right hand will come underneath your right shoulder. Turn the rib cage towards the left now. Here's where we start to stabilize the shoulder girdle. Take that same motion of right hand turning the doorknob to the right on this side. Shoulder blade secures on the rib cage. Left arm reaches up towards the ceiling. Now, if balance permits here, you might imagine the weight of the head dropping down towards the right shoulder. If that's not the case and it causes you to wobble around a lot and this right shoulder is rolling in, keep your head in line with the spine and just turn your gaze down towards the right fingertips. Keep shifting the weight over the right wrist. Pause for one more breath. And then release. Left hand comes down towards the mat. Tuck your toes. Find your downward facing dog as you lift your knees up and back. Drop the weight of the head. Give your head some gentle nods front and back, side to side. And we'll step left foot forward. Lower your right knee down. Reach your left arm up towards the ceiling. Imagine that doorknob again. This time you'll be turning the doorknob to the left. You always turn in the same direction as the arm that you're using. Once you feel that left shoulder secure on the back of the rib cage, drop the weight of your head down, and you might even give yourself some head nods again, just saying, are those muscles alongside the neck truly releasing? And then pause in the twist. Breathing in through the nose, drawing the breath down to the low ribs, feeling it expand front to back, side to side. And then slowly release your left hand down to the mat. Step your left shin back, so the left knee is underneath the left hip. Right leg will step behind you, turning the right toes to the right side of the mat. Reach your right arm up towards the ceiling. Ground down through the left hand. Feel the left shin and the top of the foot grounding down. If you already feel a little bit wobbly, you might pause here and just shift the gaze down towards your fingers. If balance permits, you might drop the weight of the head entirely. Reaching up through the right fingers, pressing down through the left hand. Notice where you tend to sink. Coming back to the breath. Softening the abdomen. Expanding the ribs, gently contracting the low abdomen on the exhale. Then we'll release right hand down. Turn the right toes down, step the left foot back, take another downward facing dog. Bend the knees deeply so you can feel the front of the mat getting pushed away from the fingers and the hips being lifted up. We'll start to walk our feet up towards our hands, taking a ragdoll position where we draw opposite hands to opposite elbows, shifting the weight from the toes to the heels. Any organic movement within the head here. And if you like the feeling of tractioning the neck, clasping the hands behind the head again, and just letting the weight of the arms gently pull the head down. Sit back into the hips, reach your arms out wide, turn your thumbs up towards the ceiling and pull your chest forward as you inhale. Sweep the arms over your head. Exhale, left hand comes down, right arm will reach over the right ear. Drop the weight of the left ear towards the left shoulder, stretch it out side to side. And inhale, left arm sweeps back up. Exhale, right hand comes down, drop the weight of the head, draw the chin towards the center of the chest and out towards the edge of the collarbone. Inhale, straight back up. Exhale, one hand onto your heart, one hand onto your abdomen. Closing the eyes here. Drawing the head over your body. So you might imagine the head as like a lollipop, the head being the candy part, the spine being the stick part. And just starting to get a sense of where do you hold your head on your body. So you can be taught movements, you can be taught stretches and how breath mechanics can contribute to the easing of your pain, but if we don't come to the source of our pain, we'll continue to have to chase, release after release after release. The more you can shift your head back onto your spine and pause there, then the muscles know what to do and whose job it is to do that work. And the practice continues as you stay curious throughout your day-to-day life. Where does the head live? How can we draw it back onto the body? Thank yourself for doing this practice. Namaste. I hope you stay curious about your upper back and neck. They're your friends. They're not your enemies. Work with them, not against them. Have a lovely day.